Hey lady, I'm Jamie and you are listening to the podcast for the modern businesswoman, the Lady CEO. Welcome to my world, where business gets to be fun, aligned, and feel damn good. If you're ready to shatter your glass ceiling, embody your inner CEO, up-level your empire, and to make more money online, then I want you to know you are totally in the right place. Between inspiring guest interviews and saucy solo sessions, I'll be covering the skills, systems, and strategies you need to absolutely kill it in your business. All spiced up with a dash of woo, of course. Now, are you ready for today's episode? Let's get to it. Hi ladies, welcome back officially to season 3 of the podcast, and of course the first season and the first episode of the new brand. I am so freaking proud and so excited to be bringing this to you. This has been so long in the works. I have wanted to rebrand for ages. And you might recall the first episode of season 2 where I actually spoke about how the phrase, the everyday queen, came to me and how for some really weird reason, it just never sat right with me. But I rolled with it because I have held myself back in my business and in my social media and everything in my life for too long because of perfectionism and people pleasing and all these limiting beliefs. And it was a really big thing for me to be pushing through those. And as part of that, I was trying to take just massive, messy action. And I did. I ran with the first thing that came to me, and that was the everyday queen. And at the time, for me, the whole phrase around queen was like unleashing your inner Beyonce, Queen Bee, the OG. But it just never sat with me because it's not the way that I speak. Like, you will never, ever hear me say, not even after too many wines, you will never hear me be like, yes, queen, or anything like that. But the branding came to me, and so I just completely rolled with it because I guess at the time it felt right and nothing better was sort of coming to my mind. So I took the action and I went with it. But it still just has not sat right with me from the day that I even launched my podcast and the day that I even started using the phrase. And so randomly, like when people talk about downloads from the universe, I used to be like, OMG, like put those crossed hands up. That is way too much for me, like no deal. But guess what? Like I actually understand it now. I know exactly what they're talking about when they say like, I had this download from the universe. It's literally just like this amazing idea that just pops into your mind, and it just comes from nowhere. You have no idea where this idea came from. And so one day I woke up and just literally the Lady CEO was on my mind, and I don't know where it came from. All I can say is it was a download from the universe. Maybe it was like spirit guides or higher up. I don't know, but it doesn't matter because it came to me and it just sat right. Like if you go back and listen to any of my episodes previously, you will know that one of my signature phrases is, hey lady. So it just fits. Everything fits. I love the new artwork. I love the new colors. I love everything. But I thought that I would use this episode to really give you a deeper dive into what the Lady CEO means and stands for, because this is a complete turnaround for the podcast. So in my previous episodes, when we were branded the Everyday Queen, it was really about sharing stories of the everyday woman doing amazing things. And I just saw 1111, by the way. Just putting that out there. As I'm recording, it literally just popped up. Magic. Anyway, back on track. When I first launched my podcast, my business was going in a slightly different direction. When I first launched my podcast, my business was really going down the direction of really focusing so much more on limiting beliefs and the whole mindset side of things. Now, don't get me wrong, that is still a huge, huge, huge part of what I do and something I am so freaking passionate about. But there is just so much more to my story than just talking to people about mindset. But that will come later. Okay, I'll get to that part of the story. So when I first launched the podcast, what I really wanted to bring to the table was to showcase the stories of everyday women who were doing amazing things, who were feeling the fear and doing it anyway, who literally were overcoming all of the shit that life throws at you, that was throwing at them, all of the crap that they were going through, and they were coming out on top. Because we've all heard the stories of the famous people and the influencers and the people that are well known. We've all heard their, I'm going to say sob story, but I don't mean that to be so insensitive. Like it's their kind of like rags to riches story. We've all heard those stories. But for me, what I thought was missing was the story of the everyday girl, the girl next door, the everyday queen. They're the stories that I wanted to share and highlight. Now, going forward, I still want to bring that to the table. But the Lady CEO is all about business and entrepreneurship, sales, marketing, strategy, mindset, everything you can think of related to business. Because what I have realized in the last 12 months is so many things. Number one is that all of the women that I was talking to anyway, bar maybe a couple, had these businesses. And it was their businesses that was actually helping them through the crap times. It was the thing that they looked forward to. And when I look back to me becoming a mum for the first time in the last year, if I didn't have my business to focus on outside of my baby, I don't know where I would be now. We are told as first-time mums, like, focus on the baby and just spend the first 12 months, like, learning to be a mom and all the rest of it. And it's just so easy to get lost in being someone's mum and forgetting who you are. My business allowed me to not only remember who I was outside of being a mum, but it gave me an outlet. It gave me a creative space. It gave me a place to just be me. And I still share that I'm a mum. That's not a secret. I don't hide that. And I'm not pretending that I'm not a mum. And I definitely, this is not about being like, oh my God, I have regrets around it or anything like that. It's just my space to be me. And mums out there will all know exactly what I'm talking about, that it is so nice to just have a space that is your own. So something else that I realized on this journey as well was that I'm over here talking about mindset and self-sabotage and limiting beliefs. But what are people actually coming to me for? They're coming to me to talk about business. For some reason, well, I know now. At the time, I didn't know. At the time, I was like, I don't get it. Like, everyone's talking business with me. Like, obviously, it's because of my experience as a manager and because I'm interested in business because, like, I have my own business and all the rest of it. I realize now that it's because it was a sign that I was in the wrong path. And everyone who knows me really well knows that I am like that person that is like asking for a sign, but is ignoring all the signs. And I'm like waiting for the door, but the universe is delivering me a window. And I'm like, no, I'm waiting for a door. There's actually a whole story about that, about someone who's drowning and they ask for a boat. And apparently like God, the universe, whatever, sends all of these different things to that person that could save them. And they keep saying, no, I'm waiting for a boat. And so, of course, they drown in the end. Like, okay, tragic story, but you know what I mean? It's about like really being open and just taking things as they come. So anyway, back on track. So I realized that the obvious step was to slightly pivot my business so that instead of helping women in business through their limiting beliefs and self-sabotage, I was talking business with these women as well as helping them through these limiting beliefs and self-sabotage. So I just do a lot more strategy now with people, obviously coupled with the mindset stuff. It is amazing. It lights me up and I fucking love it. I love talking business with people. So it makes sense, right, for my podcast to pivot in that direction, because something that is really on my heart at the moment and that I'm talking with clients about is making sure that everything is in alignment. Something that has kind of sat with me for a little while. So I have invested so much money myself into coaching and business coaching. And, this is probably a story that I can go a lot deeper into on another episode. But long story short, TLDR, is that there were so many things that I've learned over the years and that I've implemented or trialed or whatever that just didn't fit. Like, it didn't seem right. It didn't feel right, but I did it anyway. And I stuck to it. And I was doing all this shit. And of course I was getting nowhere because it wasn't true to me. And so that's a really huge focus that I have for myself, for my business. And also I'm taking my clients through it, is making sure that everything we do in our businesses is in alignment with who we are. Our business is an extension of us, and it gets to be however the fuck we choose it to be. If we want it to be fun and we're dancing on reels and we're pointing at random shit on the screen, that is how we get to do business. If we choose to be investing in Facebook ads or cold calling or cold DMing or whatever, that is our choice, as long as it is in alignment and it sits well and it feels good. Because business, no, it's not easy, but it shouldn't be so hard. It shouldn't feel shit. You shouldn't be waking up every day dreading doing work in your business. You get to do work in your business. Having a business is a luxury. It's a choice and it is a privilege. And it is time that we start treating it that way and take back control. Instead of listening to all of the internet gurus telling us how to do everything, selling their blueprints that are, just all these cookie cutter people out there at the moment, and it's driving me nuts, right? So here we are, the lady CEO. What that means to me is that you are in full alignment with your business. Not just alignment though, you fully embody that version of you that already has everything that you could dream of. Your business is already making whatever your end goal is for your business. You're already doing whatever courses, programs, events, whatever it is that you picture for your business, whatever your business looks like in your mind, in your dreams. You're embodying that version of you now. The lady CEO trusts her intuition. She tunes into it and she knows what feels good, and that is what she goes with. She invests in herself. She values herself. She knows that investing in herself and valuing herself is investing in and valuing her business. She knows that you can't make it to the top on your own. She knows that she needs to be surrounded by like-minded women, by the go-getters, the dreamers, the doers. And she embraces all aspects of business, the strategy, the mindset, the marketing, all of it, all of it. It's really about finding that balance between the feminine and the masculine. And it's actually deeper than balance. It's deeper than balance because everyone talks about rebalancing the energies or tuning into this energy or whatever. But the truth is, in business, you need to be able to tune into both. Systems and strategy are an absolute must in business, but so is that beautiful element of flow. So for me, it's not about balancing the energies. It's about tuning into the feminine when you need to, tuning into the masculine when you need to, and knowing how to flip in between the two as your business needs you to. And the lady CEO, she has that down packed. And the lady CEO is so much more than just business. Like, obviously, I'm just talking about the business side of things. But the thing is, when you step into being that CEO version of yourself, it overflows to all of the areas of your life. I want you to think of the lady CEO as basically your own personal version of that girl. Like, we all know the Be That Girl challenge that's going around. I did a whole podcast episode on it. The lady CEO is just my version of that. It is about stepping into your highest self, being that person now, and obviously that will overflow into all areas of your life. So you're going to be the CEO in your business. You are going to be the CEO in your home life, in your relationships, in your health, wellness. Like, we've all seen the wheel of life. So imagine being the CEO in all little wedges of the wheel of life. That is basically what we are creating here. Because the thing is, that is the life that you absolutely get to live. You get to live that. You get to have it all. You just need to stand up and take the action and make it happen. It is all there for you. In fact, it's actually already done. It's already done for you. Everything that you want, everything that you desire, it is already done. It's just waiting for you to step into that CEO version of yourself, that lady CEO, that girl, the highest version of you, whatever you want to call it. That is all you need to do. Step into that and it's done. So, what you can expect going forwards from these episodes is literally everything that I've spoken about and more, of course. Everything that I spoke about in the intro. So we are talking systems, strategy, skills, mindset. We, of course, are talking spirituality because this would not be my podcast without the woo and the do. And I just really want to make that clear. For me, it is about the woo and the do. I will never tell you to sit and meditate and not fucking take action because shit does not happen that way. So we will also dive into feminine energy, masculine energy, all of that stuff. And of course, there is going to be a beautiful mix of episodes with just me, yours truly, in your ears, as well as some really amazing guest interviews. I am just so excited to be able to bring this all to you. And I hope that you can feel that. I hope that you feel the love that I am putting into everything at the moment. Everything at the moment for me is getting a humongous overhaul, a massive facelift. Some things you'll notice, some things you won't. Some things I think you'll just feel the difference. And it's exciting. It is really exciting. Welcome to my world officially. And I cannot wait to continue to share this journey with you. There is so much epicness happening this year. I am working with a new coach, which means I have just a whole lot of overflowing energy to bring to you. It's got to be let out somewhere. So you lucky people get to be that outlet for me. So over the next couple of weeks, I actually have 4 mini launches. This podcast is actually the first, and then I have 3 other things launching. So I will be launching something new basically every 2 to 3, 3 to 4 days for the next fortnight. And I just can't wait to share it with you all. There is so much epicness coming. If you are not following me on Instagram, you need to be. If you are not subscribed, following, whatever you want to call it, to this podcast, you need to be. We're about to light this shit up. We are already past halfway into 2021, and I am determined to not only make this final 6 months of this year fucking epic for myself, but I'm bringing all of you along with me. Thank you so much for sticking around to the end. I absolutely love recording these episodes for you. Don't forget to come and say hi and continue this conversation over on my Instagram at Jamie Lee White. And of course, share this podcast with someone you know needs to hear it. I cannot wait to share more gold with you next week.